is a talk. I'll be introducing one of our dear speaker today, who is also a former convener of our Prashant Nagar Committee, and she is also a teacher in Cambridge High School, and she is also now Joint District Education Coordinator. I heartily welcome Srimati Priya Sujith for addressing the talk. And her topic is Education versus Educare. Thank you.
Offering myself at the Lord's lotus feet, praying to Swami to give me understanding that He is speaking through me. Loving Sairam to all of you. Loving Sairam to all of you. So my topic is, as Swati said, thank you Swati for introducing. The topic is education versus educare. Now let's first see from where the word education is derived. The word education is derived from the Latin word educare. Now, educare is the source of education. So let's first understand that educare is the source of education. You can see two pictures in this. In the first picture, what can you see? Water is being poured from a jug to the glass, isn't it? So, glass stands for our mind, and the information, water stands for information. So information is transferred, is poured into our mind. So this is education. That is, from external knowledge is poured into our mind. It is bookish knowledge. We get this knowledge from books. Now, in the second picture, what can you see? Who is that? A sculptor. And what is he doing? He is yes. So, where is this idol? Did he bring the idol from outside? The idol was already there inside. And he just chiseled. He removed the the parts of the rock, and a beautiful idol came out of that rock. And that is educare. That is bringing out the idol from the rock. That is a process. Educare is a process. So let us conclude in this slide. Filling the mind with facts and information is education. Awakening the heart is educare. Now, I'll tell you a few examples. We can see the 9-point code of conduct. The first one we have every day, Omkaram and Suprabhat. Right? Now, if I ask you to write one essay on Omkaram, you will refer to so many books. You will refer to Swami's discourses, then Chandogya Upanishad, etc., etc. And you will quote from all that. Right? And you will make a very beautiful essay on Omkara. You will get first prize also. Right? What is it? Is it education or educare? It is education. Very good. It's education. Right? Now, when will it become educare? Exactly. When we start practicing and experiencing the bliss of chanting Omkara, then it will become educare. In 1973, Swami gave a series of discourses on Bhaja Govinda. As you all know, Adi Shankaracharya, Sri Shankaracharya, was walking along the streets of Varanasi, and he happened to hear an old person reciting and by hearting the rules of Panini grammar. This touched his heart. Touched his heart means it really somehow he felt he was pained to hear this and see this sight. Why? And the result was, the outcome was Bhaja Govindam. He wrote, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamade, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Duprindharane. Chant the name of Govinda. At the time of death, the rules of Panini grammar will not help you in any way. Chant the name of Govinda. This is Educare, manifesting the divinity within ourselves. It's already there within ourselves, and we just have to manifest it. And that is Educare. Swami speaks. What is education? Education is collecting data and statistics from external world and impart it to the students, feed to the students. That is education. And what is Educare? To know that all that is from within and explaining to the students, that develop confidence in the students that you are God inside. You have every knowledge within you. And this confers bliss to us, bliss to all of us. That is what Swami has done to all the devotees also. There was one Greek philosopher named as Socrates. He had a different methodology while dealing with the students. He used to ask questions and drive out answers from the students. This made the students understand that all knowledge is there within themselves. This is what is Educare. An individual cannot merely grow by just receiving education. It is only Educare, it is only culture. Educare gives one culture. Educare gives us culture. And that alone helps one grow. Now in this picture you can see a coin, but it's a counterfeit coin, it's a fake coin. Can we circulate it in the market? We cannot circulate it. It's of no use. We can only preserve it, right? So if education is without Educare, this will be our plight. Okay? It is like a fake coin. Another comparison is, it is like a dark room. A dark room is infested with bats. Bats of wicked thoughts. You all would have heard the saying, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So, if it is bats of wicked thoughts inhabit such a heart, and it is of no use at all. You can't do any productive work at all with such a heart. Another comparison is, it is like a kite that is disconnected from the string. You can see it. It's like a kite that is disconnected with the string. We don't know where it will land. So it's a goalless living. Now let us see whether Swami has given importance only to Educare or only to education. Our Swami has given importance to both education and Educare. Swami's famous quote is, education is for living and Educare is for our life. So Swami gave importance to both worldly education as well as Educare, which is for our spiritual upliftment. Now this is a very famous Chinnakatha. There was one businessman, he wanted to visit his hometown, which is on the other side of Kaveri. So he hopped into a boat and the boatman started rowing the boat. And after some time, the businessman felt very, very bored. So he asked the boatman, "Hey boatman, do you have a newspaper or magazine? I just want to pass the time." So the boatman said, "Arey sir, I am an illiterate person. I don't know to read newspaper. I don't carry newspaper and magazine." "Oh, 1/4 of your life is gone to water. thrown to water. Now he asked, so at least I forgot to take watch today. So tell me what is the time? Where is your watch? Please look at the watch and tell me the time. So he says, sir, I don't know to look at the watch. I don't carry watch. I don't wear a watch. Oh, 2/4 of your life is gone to water. Then he asked, okay, tell me, didn't you go to school? Don't you know all these things? He said, I have not gone to school. So, 3/4 of your life is thrown to water. Now suddenly, everything changed. The weather changed, black cloud gathered, and clouds started roaring. And he said, the boatman asked, sir, now water is entering our boat. Save yourself. Swim. Oh God, I don't know swimming. He said, please save me. Now, he was drowning. So practical knowledge is Educare. Without practical knowledge, bookish knowledge alone is not enough. Bookish knowledge is important, theory is important, but practical knowledge is not important. So both Educare and education should go hand in hand. Otherwise, we will have to struggle like that person in the samsara saga. Now, where does education originate? Education comes from here, whereas Educare from our spiritual heart, which gives us the following values: Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, and Ahimsa. What does worldly education grant us? Worldly education grants us very good job, so many degrees, etc., etc. And that makes one great. That makes one great. Whereas spiritual education, Educare, makes one good. Spiritual education, Educare, makes one good. Now, both great and good plus great plus good is equal to noble. Here I would like to tell an anecdote which happened in the life of Mahatma Gandhi. We call him Mahatma, right? Why? There are various reasons for that. One day, he was boarding a moving train in a hurry. So as he was boarding, one of the sandals slipped off his foot. And when he boarded the train, there was only one sandal on one foot. As soon as he boarded the train, he just threw the other sandal also next to the other one which was lying on the platform. So a person asked him, why did you do that, Mahatma Gandhiji? At that time he was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. So why did he do that? He said, when a poor man who finds the first sandal will have no use, but just one. Now he can use it. Look at the presence of mind we have. Look at the compassionate nature we have. The nobility in action. This is Educare. He was a lawyer, educated person, and he was that education rendered with Educare. That's why some people are called as Mahatma. Now, there's an analogy of the well. If we want water, we want to locate the place where water is there. And then after that, the digger digs the place and remove the mud, etc. And finally water is found. Did we pour water from outside? We didn't pour water from outside. The water was already there. And this is how 5 human values are. 5 human values are natural to us. That is natural to all human beings. One has to manifest them from the heart and lead a natural life. They are like vital airs, 5 vital airs, without which we cannot live in the world. So they are like 5 vital airs in us. But there's a problem. Now, why we are not able to see the water? We were not able to see the water because there was mud, right? So we are enveloped, the 5 human values are enveloped with 6 Arishad Vargas. That is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. We have to throw this, then only we can find the 5 human values which are latent within us. So the 5 human values can be found only if we throw off the 6 Arishad Vargas. Now, if we want to draw water, maybe you are not, the present generation may not experience this. If we want to draw water, we use, what do we use? We use rope and bucket, isn't it? Now, what do we need? We need to secure the rope of faith. We should understand that everything is there within ourselves. So, Educare, let us conclude this part by saying, Educare brings out the latent human values in every human. Practice is very, very important. Once we find it, practice automatically. Now, how can we bring out these values? We are so lucky and fortunate that we have got a wonderful Guru who is avatar of this age. And he has, see, a digger of the well, he uses different instruments in order to remove the mud and bring transformation in us. Transformation is very, very important. That is what Educare gives us. Swami has gifted the Malikas, Gurus and Educare people, the teachers, 5 teaching techniques, and he himself has showed it how to use that. The first one is prayers and quotes. Second one is storytelling. All the discourses Swami used to narrate at least 1 or 2 stories, and that is compiled in the form of Okachinanga. Third one is group singing. We sing bhajans, we teach bhajans, we teach value songs to children. Then group activities. We all participate in seva activities. Children also participate in seva activities. Right? There was, it was during the Chitravati days. Swami used to take his devotees to the Chitravati river land. During that time, he used to, it was a wonderful time for the devotees because it was peace for their soul. One day Swami had an escapade team and Swami had put so many chicks in that. In some chicks he had written good habits and some chicks bad habits. And Swami stood in the middle and he asked all the devotees to stand in a circle. And Swami would sing bhajans and all the devotees will run and run. And when Swami stopped the bhajan, the devotees had to stop running and then they had to pick the chicks from there. Whoever got good habits could stand with Swami. They got that privilege to stand with Swami. And the bad habits, those who got bad habits, they had to run again. So a devotee asked Swami, why you making them to run in a circle? Swami said, if you have bad habits, life, death cycle, you have to go through the life and death cycle. Punarapi janam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani janagate sharanam. Now, 5th teaching technique is silent sitting. Swami, darshan time was the best dhyana time. All our focus were only on Swami. So these 5 teaching techniques are like 5 fingers of the hand. They are all interconnected. Now, for the devotees, Swami has gifted us with 9-point code of conduct. You can see that chart. It's a beautiful chart because all karma marga and bhakti marga and jnana marga, everything is there. Without our Sawaris we practice that. We don't have to go anywhere. We just have to practice 9-point overcome and salvation. This guarantee. Swami has assured that. Now, what is education according to Swami? Swami says that cultivation of human values alone is education. Who is an educated person? Whoever tries to understand human values, Sapthaha, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa, properly, that is very important, properly, and who practices these values and propagates them with zeal and enthusiasm and sincerely, can alone be described as a truly educated person, can alone be described as a truly educated person. Now, what are the values? We all know that Prema is the undercurrent of all values. Swami says, love in speech is Satya, true. Love in action is right action, dharma. Love in thought is peace, shanti. Love in understanding is ahimsa, non-violence. Who is a true human being? See, who is a true human being? It's a wonderful question, Swami gives answer. One who considers human values as his life breath alone is a true human being. One who considers human values as his life breath alone is a true human being. I remember we had a convener in our group. His name was Sri Radhakrishna. His name is Sri Radhakrishna. You know, the degrees he had, one book is not enough to write all his degrees. That many degrees. Even in his 60s, his name came in the newspaper. He had taken this degree, that degree. Okay. And one day, he was working in the tourism department. So one day, he had to visit, he had to go to Mumbai and to meet a business group, a very influential business group. So that those people offered, because it happened in a big hotel, and the business people, they offered him a large amount. He comes from a humble background, that we have to understand. And he said no to it. Very humbly, politely he rejected that offer. Education with education. Both should go hand in hand. Now, what is the end of education? End of education is character. Swami says, real education requires the cultivation of a sense of humility. Great learning brings great humility. Vidya dadati vinayam. Without humility, there is no education. Here I would like to tell you an anecdote which happened in Michael Faraday's life. As you all know, Michael Faraday was a great scientist. He was the inventor of dynamo. And you know that he came from a very humble background. So he was invited to a grand gathering attended by many wealthy and educated people. And one man just was trying to insult him and asked mockingly, he just wanted to mock him and asked him, is it true your father was just a blacksmith? Faraday calmly replied, yes, my father was indeed a blacksmith and an honest man. And an honest one. Next question he asked was, were you once a bookbinder's assistant? Were you once a bookbinder's assistant? Yes, I used to bind books and I also read them. Instead of feeling ashamed of the humble beginnings he had, he spoke with dignity and simplicity. And this is what makes people great, noble. No. He never allowed his fame or scientific success to fill him with pride. So education should be blended with Educare, and that makes one. What is humility? Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking yourself less. It is thinking yourself less. Now, why we need both education and educare? Birds. Can they fly without two wings? Only one wing is there. Can they fly? It's not possible. Likewise, both education and educare are needed for the man to proceed, for us to proceed through his journey of life. Now, bullock cart, another example, bullock cart. It can run only if there are two wheels. What about bulb? Can it glow by itself? It is not possible to glow by itself. What is it needed? Electricity is needed, right? So, education is needed, but educare should be blended with education in order to shine in our. This particular point is taught by Dr. R. Tom Jusa in the Educare sessions, in the conferences. Brain says, it gets charged if there is kindness, compassion, etc. So, right side of the brain always stand for compassion, human values, etc. Right side is always right. So, but left, left, we gain it from academics. Academic side stand for left brain. So, both sides should be activated for a human being. Just mentioning this, we can read about it. There's a lot of information about it. Now here I would like to share an anecdote which happened in Abdul Kalam's life. Abdul Kalam was working in ISRO. You know that Abdul Kalam was a great scientist and he was the president of India. And he was working in ISRO, and one of his scientists was continuously working on an important project for so many days. So one evening the scientist asked him, can I go a little early at 5:30 because I want to take my children for exhibition? Kalam agreed. And what happened? The scientist was so busy in work and he forgot about this and he continued working till 8:30. 8:30 he realized, oh my God, I have failed as a father. So he rushed to his home feeling so guilty about it, and his wife smilingly told, your children enjoyed the exhibition. So he asked, who took them for the exhibition? So the wife said, Mr. Kalam came and took them. See, look at the empathy he had, the humility he had, the human values. Such a highly educated person. He manifested that compassionate nature, the empathetic nature. That is educated. Japanese stories, whenever Japanese stories come back, they become so eloquent. Why? Because of the way they were treated there. The care the old people were given. The trains are all old people friendly trains, and the food habits and the timing of the food, everything that made the Japanese stories very eloquent. That is care and educare. Now, what is Swami's boon to this universe, gift to this universe? There is miracles. Educational institutions, universities, and if they cannot join Swami's educational institutions, they can participate in Balika's program. See, look at the broad-mindedness. That is why Swami created this organization also. And the last project Swami inaugurated was Vidya Vahini project. What is the objective? The objective is to restore dharma in the world and to raise a generation of children who have a clean and clear conscience. The conscience should work. They should be able to hear and follow the conscience. This is the purpose. This is the greatest gift that Swami has given. We always tell about miracles, but this is the greatest miracle that Swami has done to all of us. Let's summarize. Education versus educare. Though it is written versus, it's complementary to each other. Education uses external knowledge, whereas educare is inner wisdom, it's internal knowledge. Education is earning for life. We can earn for our life using our education, using our qualifications, etc. Educare is learning for life. Education is a journey from outside to inside, whereas educare is a journey from inside to outside. We are utilizing our resources, the resources which Swami has gifted us with, and use it for the society. Education we get from the textbook. It's bookish knowledge. That is important. Theory is important. But educare is bringing out qualities from inside, which is already there within ourselves. Education is information. Educare is transformation. Information without transformation is not only useless but also dangerous. Education deals with logic, whereas educare is manifestation of love from within. Education stands for quantity. So many qualifications we can take by working hard. Educare is quality. It should be qualitative development. Education is pravritti marga, dealing with the worldly action, whereas educare is nivritti marga. It is a path of inward contemplation. Education is prayers, whereas educare is shreyas. With this, I would like to wind up the talk. If any questions are there, you can ask. Otherwise, I will ask questions.
There is one question.
Yes.
So there is a beautiful quote on the PPT, right? So the humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking less of yourself. Can you explain that? Give an example.
Humility is,
Okay, I read it.
humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking of yourself less. That means that you humble, humility. That is, you think that there's many better people. See, for example, Abdul Kalam himself. He didn't think that he is greater, he is a superior person, he is superior to the scientist who was working under him. He just thought that is equal to him. He never thought that he is the manager, so others should follow. That's what my understanding. If anybody else can explain it better. Is it clear?
I think those two words are the some inner meaning I feel. I don't know. I'm also communicating about this. Thinking less of yourself and thinking yourself less. There is some difference.
Thinking?
Ah.
Yes.
Defining what is thinking. Thinking less of
Thinking less of yourself.
less of yourself. What is yourself?
Thinking less of yourself means I am greater. Thinking
Actually, when you start
I am less.
thinking that what the body, the mind, and the Atma is never interesting at all. When you think it as small self. But the bigger self, you have the bigger yes, then that becomes the real self. So, the small self will become the big self. Then you think less of small self, and then real self will begin. The real self is what is available in everybody. It's there in everybody. That is the real self. Whereas you, what you think is the small self. So less of this self and more of that.
So less of ego and more of
Less of ego and thank you. Yes. It's not Swami's code.
So it is more of English. The language is English there. Here we have very short topics. Actually, it doesn't
confusing.
Is there any simplest one which Swami has explained to this point?
Hear that argument. Actually, Swami's code also has said real education requires the cultivator. Great, it is not like that, not specifically about humility, but Swami says great learning brings great humility. That's all.
Probably with respect to ego, think yourself less, but in terms of your Atma, you always bigger. You have all the capacity, but in terms of ego, think always less. Ego, then you compare with others. It is arrogance in everything.
Yeah, maybe in terms of ego,
Yeah.
as you say.
No, maybe they are very achieve great things, big things. In the cosmos, you are just one small thing. So think yourself as this. That much is. Okay, one spread. That's all, nothing more. Though you achieve much more in the world. Whatever.
I would just like to add a point. Like what I felt meaning was the second part, that is think yourselves less, means stop being selfish. You need to think about others, like the compassion which has to grow. That should be your identification. It's not about always we think about who I am, or that is in the physical world what I am, relating myself with the body, like how we said. Instead of that, we should have a broader mind. So that is the second part. And the first part, we should not think less, which means that false humbleness, like no, I am not capable of anything. That is not the way which we have to carry ourselves. That is wrong. Inferiority complex and superiority complex, we have two things, right? So inferiority complex, we cannot say that to be a humbleness. That is not humility. We should have confidence. At the same time, we should not be selfish. So
Selflessness.
Selflessness.
Anything else? Anybody ask any questions? There is time. Is there time?
3 minutes.
Last slide. Question. Which statement is true? Education and which statement is true? Third question we will go first. Because there is time is not there. Education and Educare are the same. Educare focuses only on academics. Education is internal. Educare is external. Education is external. Educare is internal. Now, seventh question we will see. An employee refuses to participate in an unethical business deal, even at the cost of losing their job. This reflects lack of ambition, Educare guiding decision making, poor education, emotional weakness. Which one? Educare guiding decision making. Now, we go to the last question, ninth question. A highly qualified manager manipulates data to meet targets and gain promotion. Which statement best explains the situation? Strong Educare with weak education. Strong education but weak Educare. Balance of education and Educare. Educare, okay, this one is which one? Strong education but weak education. Tenth question. Is committee conduct study circle on Swami's teachings on discipline, and members begin coming on time and stop talking loudly after budget. A. Too much Educare. B. Educare is being taught theoretically, not practiced. C. the education is absent, the Educare is being taught theoretically and practiced for. Very good. Thank you. Offering all that I spoke at Swami's so to speak. Thank you for your patient listening. Jai Sai Ram.